Hey YouTube, I'm going for the cheapest possible rig, so I'm going to thinking that, correct me if you can find something better, give us a shout, but I'm going to put this on Facebook Marketplace as a complete guitar and amp package for £66.60. And I don't think you can get a guitar that works for that with an amp. That you don't need to work on. So, I mean, in tune, working, it's even got the Reaper on it. It's got a bit of a graphic going on, wee bit horror movie type thing. This is a Jacksville guitar, which you can't really see the logo. It's kind of faded a little bit. It's actually hollow. I don't really know what it's made of. I mean, I did a video of this the other day, just because it's like, it's alright, you can play it. And if you're talking about learning to play the guitar, something like this particular rig, I don't reckon you could really get started for this. You can buy guitars that are broken with bits missing that have got an action like this that don't play for this sort of money, but I don't think you can get one that's actually pretty good. The amp is a Starforce USA, American, just like the Fenders. I doubt very much it's American. We don't have very much in it. I don't know, I'm saying 80s. It's an SBA 130. I don't know how many watts, maybe 13 watts? I don't know. It's actually quite loud for what it is. And it's got fur on it. So we've got two inputs, H and L. We've got volume, treble, middle, bass, and the presence knob is snapped off. But you don't really need presence anyway. You know, it's like, okay, Achilles' Last Stand and Nobody's Fault But Mine, but the rest of the album, a little bit of a Led Zeppelin joke there for you. Yeah, so it doesn't have a presence knob. So whatever it's set to, it's set to. So try turning it on. Got a bit of a buzz going on. And it's not making any noise. That's because I just turned the volume down. So this is the high input. I'll play this guitar up here because normally for a guitar this price you won't be able to play. If I had a really cheap distortion pedal, I would throw it in. You can pick up a distortion pedal for about 15 quid, something like that. So that's the neck pickup. Then you get your Dire Straits position 4. Middle, position 2, don't use middle ever. Bridge, spike haste. That's the volume up at almost half. It's actually really loud. Bit of a buzz coming from the transformer in it, but hey. It's not as loud as the guitar is. But this guitar's got a wee secret weapon. I've put in a cascading megabucker switch, which, as far as I'm aware, I invented. So when you put this switch on, in the bridge position, it's just the same. Put it into the middle position on the lever, it makes it a humbucker until it's a little bit more balls. Then you put it into the neck, you get a triple bucker. I wonder if I put it into the low input and with the volume up, if I can get a wee bit of gain coming out of it. A wee bit warmer. mean, that's... I'm going to have to try and turn it up, see if it does distort. I think it probably will, just through... Quite harsh. What, the kids like it to be playing on something like this? Turn it back down to a sort of reasonable level. But in all honesty, if you're just learning guitar for the first thing, what you really want is a guitar with decent low action that all the notes work on, that isn't a pure nightmare. The action is the distance between the strings and the fretboard. Normally, good action, I accept, acceptable action is a 2 pence piece between the 12th, at the 12th here, which is this one here, between the string and the fretboards. A 2p shouldn't fit in below it, or it should just fit in below it. 1p is good action. That's what I set my guitars to. It's actually below that. So, I mean, this is about as easy a guitar to get as you can play, and some of these are worth thousands of pounds. But if it's too high up, there is a school of thought where a really high action makes you work much, much harder so that you gain strength in your fingers to be able to play a really bad guitar. But the problem with that is, which I've actually had with a few of my pals when I was learning to play the guitar, because I didn't know any of this stuff, you didn't have YouTube then, and you would end up, to play a chord, especially a bar chord, which is when you're playing up the neck like this, you had to put every single fibre of your being clamping that, pulling it as hard as you can, just because it was so high and so hard to play. Which meant that when you did get a shot of a real guitar, when you went to play a bar chord, you would be bending all the strings because you would put everything you had into it. And it doesn't, when you bend, you know, if you hold it in as hard as you can on a decent guitar, it doesn't really work. Just the lightest touch. Yeah. So, I mean, there's enough there to... That's a wee bit noisy. Yeah, so there you go. Can you find a guitar that works for £66.60 with an amp? And I'll throw in a lead as well and a strap. So basically all you need to learn to play the guitar is this £66.60, a drive to Milton Campsie, and a phone. You can get like an app on your phone for a tuner to tune the guitar, and then you're ready to rock. Okay, every couple of months you need to buy a new set of strings for it. These ones are brand new. But there's no issues with this being difficult to play or not sounding decent. I mean, it's one of those things you put like a great guitarist, I don't know, Hendrix or Dave Gilmour or whoever your hero is, on this guitar and this amp, and they will sound better than me with my most expensive guitar and most expensive amp, straight up. It's all in the fingers, but you can totally learn how to play on this. So, thinking of, always really fancied playing the guitar, but never really given it a go. A wee bit of a minefield, especially when it is possible to buy really cheap ones. I know people are going to, in the comments, just about what the cheapest guitar you've ever bought that worked was. I bought an Ibanez Blazer for 25 quid off Gumtree, but I had to reassemble it and do an awful lot of work on it to make it work. So, if you're taking that to a shop, hundreds of pounds worth of work to make it work. This one, no work to make it work. Basically, just play it, and it plays up here. If you're a beginner, you don't really need to, but the fact that it does do it up here. Plus you've got the exclusive Megabucker switch, cascading Megabucker switch, which no, as far as I'm aware, maybe 2 or 3 other guitars in the world have it that I've made. No one else will have it. It's one of those things that... Yeah, so rock on, and it doesn't have the tremolo bar in it. You could put one in and set it up, but to be honest, if you're learning to play the guitar, don't get the whammy bar. Don't even think about it. Even worse, don't get one of these with a... But this is an expensive guitar, so it works. But and I got it painted by my artist friend. This is a Floyd Rose for doing all that stuff, right? On this guitar, because it's an expensive Japanese guitar, and I've set it up, this does return to pitch. It goes back to where it was. If that hadn't been set up, or if it was a cheapie, they don't really work. Although the lovely ideas, I mean, I remember when I first wanted a guitar, I wanted one with a whammy bar, but really it just puts out a tune, unless you're good on the guitar and you know how to work it and set it up. And the cheapest of cheap ones don't generally work. I mean, I could if I had a tremolo bar, I could make this work and I could make it stay in tune. But that's because I'd be very, very gentle with it and I'd be very controlled of what I was doing. If you're just going to go, hoo, that's it, tune it again. So even if you're not interested in this one, you're buying your first guitar and you want a Stratocaster, which most people do, but most used guitars are this shape. That's where the cascading Mechabucker sound comes in a little bit more. I'm kind of tempted to run my pedal board through it, right? So I'll take this out here, plug it into a tuner, and bearing in mind that this pedal board costs more than this whole combo does easily. And there. Tuner's on. There you go. So there's actually, that's it with a reverb pedal on. It's not much better. That makes it sound. And then I like my rat pedal. So there's your Stratocaster through a rat pedal. The cascading Megabucker. Yes. Yeah. So I mean, okay, that rat pedal there is worth more than this whole thing. It's about 150 quid for that rat pedal. But that one I was just using there, the last one was a twin note Pi Fuzz, and I got that for £20 off eBay, brand new, delivered. Yeah. So I mean, it's not exactly expensive stuff. It is in a percentage wage if you're only paying £66 for the guitar and the amp though, so maybe paying an extra 20 quid for a pedal. You get Behringer pedals. I've actually got one the same as that rat sitting in this big pile of pedals, but I can't find it. Which I, to be honest, I would have given away, but it's called a Mosky rat pedal, which is 95% the same as the real one. It's only a wee mini pedal, but it's got a wobbly input on it, so I don't really want to sell it. I will fix it at some point. That's the problem with the really cheap pedal. Sometimes the actual jack socket, the actual physical bit, is a bit... That's why they're cheap. They're a bit breaky if you use it too often. But the actual digital circuit and stuff inside, it's fine. Yeah, so there you go. Cheapest rig you can get. Would I gig with it? I would, to be honest. If it was a challenge, I would do it. I would try. Just, yeah, I would give it a go. This guitar, I find this guitar really annoying actually, because it's kind of alright, and it's like, just because of what it is, because you look these up, you see them all the time, really cheap. I have done work to make it work, but I mean, everything was there to make it work. It's like I didn't have to replace any of the bits. Okay, full disclosure, I did replace that switch tip because that should be black. I just didn't have one, and the only one I've got is white, so that should really be black. But I mean, that's an aesthetic thing, not a functional thing. This guitar's pretty good. But there's no point in me having more guitars. I've got a Strat over there, and I've got other things that do the job. Yeah, so cheapest gig rig, and it's fucking loud. I said the F word. Oops, but it's really loud. It's far louder than you would really want. I would probably recommend getting a much smaller amp, but you're not going to get one with a guitar for 66 quid. Just keep the volume down low, and it'll be fine. I'd even say if you didn't have I'm thinking back to if I'd been playing for like a couple of years when I had a guitar and a wee amp, and it's like you could basically just buy that if you've got like an SG or a Les Paul type guitar. This is more of a Strat, so you get the Stratty sounds for sod all money. Also, it means if you've got a pal over, you can say, hey, you play this guitar and that amp, and then you can get a jam with the two of you without having to carry stuff, and it's all right. So in the comments, just put down, oh, that sounds pure terrible. My American Fender Strat through Fender Bassman, £6 worth, sounds much better. Good on you. Like and subscribe, rock on, and this will be on Facebook Marketplace as soon as this video is uploaded. Catch you later.